Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you gotta get spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. Monday. I think we have a busy week here this week. Let's start there. I gotta keep my update myself here. I'm pretty sure that we got a bunch of stuff going on this week. Let's see here. I don't know if we need like the euro on there. Okay. Oh no, wait, that's next week. We want this week. There we go. Okay, so Wednesday, CPI, FOMC. Oy. So we get CPI and FOMC together again. 30-year bond auction on Thursday. Consumer sentiment. Nothing today, tomorrow. Oh, 10-year bond auction tomorrow. Okay. We got a busy week. Let's go into the charts, see where things are at in the overnight session. So treasuries just got destroyed on the non-farms payroll last Friday, and then the overnight session a little bit further, but nothing too crazy. S&P 500, man, it was all over the place off of that thing, but a little bit lower this morning, I would say. Lower, but almost recovered. Oil, actually seeing maybe a little bit of a rise this morning. After, let's be honest, some pretty bearish action over the last month or so. Gold and silver also hammered. Kappa hammered with the other metals. Japanese yen not looking good this morning, but you know, they're not quite there. Could there be more intervention coming though? I kind of wonder. And here's Bitcoin dropping back below the 70K level again. All right, and then we got to come in here and check on the GameStop thing, huh? Let's move the ZN10 ticks. Let's not. All right, trading view. So, the question is, are those apes still at it this morning? Well, it's in the overnight session opened up with a gap, but has quickly faded. And the Nvidia split is effective after today. That is an important thing to note, actually. That makes it affordable to the retail. Yeah, it does. I kind of wonder, though, with Nvidia. Like, so I'm not an expert on valuing stocks. I wish that was something that I was better and knew more about. But I just looking at the way that thing has been trading and the things that people are saying about it and everything, it seems overdone to me. Like sentiment-wise, seems overdone. So I'm kind of starting to wonder, can Nvidia really keep this up? Well, I mean, we asked, could Nvidia keep this up like 6 months ago, and it's kept going. But I don't think that I saw the same kind of like flashing warning signs. But the problem is just that those flashing warning signs don't mean that it has to come back, right? People will keep buying it, especially as long as they're still doing good as a company. And, you know, people want to put money into the markets. I think Nvidia probably continues to go up and continues to be the big one. I think that we are in a new era where there will always be one big stock that just everything piles into and it just keeps going. It used to be Apple, Tesla, now it's Nvidia. and who knows what the next one's going to be. But like, if you are able to pick that one, you just, I mean, it's stock market's always kind of been like that to some degree, but it's going to be the herding effect is going to be even stronger than ever before because of indexes and all of that sort of stuff. But what I really care about right now is GameStop. Here's my conundrum. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And the reason I can't stand it is because the people that are pushing this thing, the people that are in GameStop and you know, continue to believe in it and everything, are so stupid and say so many false and misleading things. And that really irritates me. It really irritates me. I you know, because I think that they're leaving people with ideas about the markets that harm society overall. Like, I know that, you know, maybe I'm like making it more serious than it really is, but to me, that really bothers me. The one that I keep seeing that irks me the most is the halt thing. They say, oh, Wall Street is causing it to halt. No, they're not. It's algorithmic. I can tell you exactly the price that it's going to halt at. It's a moving target, of course, but you can calculate it. We looked at it last Friday. We said, oh, I don't think that you can do it on TradingView because it doesn't appear to me that TradingView has any kind of way to do something on an order by order basis. Because basically what we need to do is we have to say for every order, put it in a queue, and then at the end of the bar, remove all of the items in the queue that are older than 10 minutes, and then calculate the arithmetic mean of those, and have 5% price bands around that. So that should be pretty simple. I think I know exactly how I would do it in NinjaTrader, but I don't get stock data for NinjaTrader. The best option that I found is still DXFeed, who I love, by the way. I love those guys. And it's about $70 a month. So here's the conundrum. Do I go and I buy that data, I make the indicator, I put it up here on stream, and I show it to all of these apes and try and convince them that there's no conspiracy here, that there's just an exchange rule? Because I kind of feel like that if I do that and I put that up and put stuff in my title and everything, nobody will care. You know, and it'll just be $70 for nothing. What do you guys think? The GME short ratio is higher now, probably. Wouldn't surprise me. Like the actual number of like outright short shares. Yeah, probably, because they had this amazing, freaking amazing opportunity to go short all the way up here, you know, above 30. Good grief, that was at 60 at one point. That's crazy. And honestly, oh my gosh. So how many of you guys watched the Roaring Kitty live stream? Can you believe there was 600,000 people watching? So in Discord, I decided to pull up the stage feature of Discord and just let everybody that wanted to come in to talk. So we had 6 or 7 guys in there chatting from, you know, some of the regulars on Discord, and it was great. I had a lot of fun listening to them. He told me the story about this pump and dump group that was, you know, being prosecuted, and then like Texas let them off the hook, and then they're going right back to scamming people. And oh my gosh. Anyways, but we were sitting there watching it. We had fun, but I kind of think, well, for some people that are totally all in on the, you know, let's be as stupid crazy as we can, they probably loved it, because it was just him memeing for like an hour, basically. It was just Roaring Kitty memeing for an hour. But there were other people that were kind of a little bit nervous and unhappy about having just had their shares diluted, and they were looking for something a little bit more serious from him, like what was his real plan, and was he going to do something crazy on the stream that would shoot prices higher again and things like that. And it didn't happen. Actually, the funniest part to me was when he was like, watch this, let's shut the stream down. And as soon as he said, let's shut the stream down, there was like some selling and it got halted again. But you got to realize, guys, like there's 600 people watching that stream. Maybe it's robots, but with 600,000 people watching that stream, any individual one of those people probably have the power to like the number of people that are out there that can move this 5%. It's wild. Because the liquidity out there is not that much. Okay, so do I try and prove that to people, or do I just go, yeah, no, I don't care? I don't know. At the moment, I'm kind of too, no, I don't care. Because what I think is going to happen, I think that the dilution and Roaring Kitty being a disappointment, I think that really hit the momentum for them, like they're backpedaling, they're on the back foot, they're unhappy, and I don't see more money coming into this right now. So my guess is that GameStop, despite being a little bit up in the overnight market, will sell back down to 25 today. That's what I'm thinking. And then at that point, it probably loses the interest. So even if I did get the data and everything, people might not even come and look, and it might not even be getting the halts anymore because there's just not the retail interest in it anymore, Maybe what I could do is write the indicator. Shall we do that? So, Octavius is stocking a short to evens. Yeah, that looks like a decent trade. Well, it's a little bit. There's probably going to be a little bit of friction here at 0.2 half. 0.2, because that's going to be like, is that an overnight session low? I can't tell. No. Yes. 0.2 is. So they might need a little bit, but if they get it, then you probably goes right there to it, right? I think we're in a situation where that can happen. That's not a bad trade. Well, let's come through here first. Come to our... Oops. That should have just been a MV. Okay, flows FOMC and CPI later this week. BOJ later this week. Like we have a 10-year auction tomorrow. There's all of the flows that I can think of are later. Say still reeling from Friday's non-farms. One thing that is out there is conservatives win big in Europe. In EU elections. It's not a good play, like honestly. Honestly, okay, so here's the broader thing that irks me, okay? What was the original thesis for GameStop? Well, this is a company that has a decent brand, and there's a strong opportunity for them to remake themselves. Yes, they got devastated by, everything moving to online, and they got hammered pretty hard by the pandemic. But if anybody can make a transition to selling things online, it would be a video game selling company. So they got bought by Ryan Cohen. Well, or not bought, but I mean, like, Ryan Cohen got involved, and people were making a play on Ryan Cohen himself, that they would be able to turn the company around. And it has now been 2 years, and what have they done? They have diluted share before all of this. They had diluted shareholders twice and created an NFT marketplace. So, like, the whole thesis, in my opinion, has been invalidated. That they would formulate a turnaround with the management, and that we were betting on the management. It has not happened. Now, one of the things that you're seeing, like one of the copes that the apes are posting about today, I tell you what, man, it's wild to go and watch some of these subs, like, because they are trying to ban anybody that's like unhappy right now. You know, anybody that's not all in is a shill, basically, is what they think. And because which man is so, like, look, if they were I can't even freaking remember, you know, if Citadel wanted to pay me money to shill for it, they wouldn't have to pay me money. I just hate it at this point. I'm so sick of the misinformation is the thing that bothers me. Anyways, so, like, the community is arguing with itself, but like half of the argument keeps getting deleted. So anyways, one of the copes is like, well, they needed to dilute shareholders right now so that they would have the money to go and invest and do things. Okay, sure, but like they diluted shareholders twice in 2021, 22. They didn't do anything with that money. What makes you think that now that they've diluted the shareholders again, that they're going to do something useful with it? What are their plans? They don't have any plans. And here's the thing. I'm not a stock expert, and I'm not an expert in, like, you know, the things that you can do in stocks in terms of, like, new offerings and all of that sort of stuff, okay? But my understanding is that to sell new shares out to the market like they did with GameStop, that it is not just a I can decide to do that at any moment thing. It's like a 2 to 4 day process. So them announcing the share sell on, you know, Friday morning, it was probably a coincidence that it coincided with the Roaring Kitty stream. But what that says to me is that as soon as it was spiking again, Ryan Cohen was, oh, we better take advantage of it this time. Because I think that the first time they kind of waited a little bit too long. They didn't get the best prices that they wanted. Like, they did an offering. I mean, they made money, but not like nearly as much as they could have. So I think that this time Ryan Cohen was like, oh, it's going off. We better get like right on it. So assuming that that's true, what does that say about Ryan Cohen's belief in this company? That is not the attitude of somebody that's like, you know, I really believe in this long term and I'm appreciative to all of the investors that believe in us and we're going to take something. And no, this is somebody that is trying to grab as much as they can because they know it's about to blow up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So the whole point of that was the main thesis in GameStop has been invalidated. And if you're still in it for the, like, I like the stock, you're a fool. Seriously. Like, the trade has been invalidated. It doesn't make sense anymore. And when the main investment thesis is gone, you're supposed to get out. Right? So what are you doing if you're still in it? Now, as a trade, it's a different thing, because as a trade, it's, you know, what are people going to do in the next week or something? And it seems to me that the cope from these guys is super, super hard. Like, I can't believe that Ryan Cohen could dilute shareholders twice the way that they did and really kill their momentum at like the worst moment for the apes. And they're still kissing his butt. What? These people are just absolutely insane. But you know what? It has become a cult. It is like straight up a cult. Some of these people cannot be convinced. And that's where I'm like, well, I could make a thing and put it out here and like show you that the halts are algorithmic and show you the place that it's going to halt and show you the depth of market and everything and all of these other things that you're missing so that you can see what's actually going on in the stock. And then maybe that will, you know, get rid of all of these illusions that people have. But I kind of think that most of them, they will see it and they still won't believe it. Or they'll think that I'm a shill and then they'll start coming after me. So maybe I just shouldn't bother. Maybe I just shouldn't bother. Well, I think, though, that we should program it. What do you think? Should we program it? I think this could be fun. Let's do it. It's on my mind. Want to do it. I'm gonna make it in here. I'm gonna do something a little weird. I'm gonna make it like a well, I guess since I'm showing you the code and everything, I'm going to make it a free indicator, okay? SBSF halt bands generate. And then I need, hold on a second. Need this. No, not on market depth. I need on market data. Actually, let's save it over here. Oh, I didn't find that. Seeming speculator set free. Wall Street coverage of Roaring Kitty was haha. How do you feel about that, weirdo? So I really don't like talking about it because he has harassed our channel and our YouTube channel in the past. And, you know, I'm just like so done with it. And, you know, we don't want to give him attention. So, you know, because the more you talk about it, like then people go and they watch the channel. So I feel like talking about it kind of helps him. But recently, there was a court case. He was suing Rocket Scooter, formerly Day Trader Paradise. And in the discovery in that court case, they were able to gain access to his broker statements from AMP Futures for the past 10 years or however long it was that he's been going. And so people went and took those results and looked at the performance, and it turned out that he had lost almost $1 million in his trading activities. That he had made almost $1 million from selling those indicators, and he put it into the market and lost all of it. Just absolutely dismal performance. So yeah, been exposed now conclusively, I would say, as a complete fraud. I feel bad for him because I think that he's probably a chronic narcissist and just can't seem to admit that, yeah, I wish you'd sued him too yourself. Well, but what would benefit would it be to me? I really don't know if the losses to me, I mean, it may have damaged my YouTube channel's performance because they might have been like downvoting and things like that. But you know, how much would you know and how would you prove damages and stuff like that? The truth is that we're doing just fine, and I'm perfectly happy with where we're at, and you know, we're still a small community, and that's super great actually. So, you know, supposedly he's gonna go and get a new lawyer, and he's gonna keep trying to go through. But oh my gosh, the whole thing is just a little bit crazy. Whole thing was just a little bit crazy. You want to read more about it, there's a thread on Futures.io or whatever they call them now. Yeah. Like one of the main reasons this came out, so there's this guy named Analytical Kinetics or something like that. I forget his well, we just call him AK. And basically what happened was I saw him on a Facebook group, and he was like, what do you guys think about this Vinny guy? And I said, oh, it's complete nonsense. And he had some algos, and the guy was like, well, but this algo seems to work. And I said, well, no, because what happens is it takes really large risk. It takes like 4-to-1 risk to reward. And so it seems like it wins all the time, but then all of a sudden it will just blow up. Like after about 2 weeks, it will just blow up. And so this guy, he put his money into it and he ran it on the robot. And sure enough, within a month, the robot blew up on him and he lost a ton of money. And then he came back to me and was like, oh, you were right. It was exactly what you said, and I wish I had listened to you. So that was kind of my first, you know, that was the first person that had spoken to me that told me a lot about what Vinny's indicators and systems were doing and stuff. Yes, the dude lost nearly $1 million. Should I pull that up? Yeah, it really is. It really is quite insane. Oh, there's like new posts and stuff. Let me read this real quick. Make sure I get the. Here we go. Oh, this is actually, I need to go further back than this, don't I? Need to go to the previous page, apparently. There's a lot of catching up I've got to do on this. Come on. Watching his videos on you, and I generally felt bad for you. A lot of the things were lies, and I don't even really know your channel. He's really disgusting. Yeah, dude, I can't tell you that was one of the things that upset me the most, was that he was like saying, oh man, that guy sure is ugly, and all of these sorts of things, just making like the dumbest insults about me. And I'm like, that is very clearly against YouTube terms of service, right? And YouTube didn't do a thing. And I reported it, like multiple people reported it. They just don't care, man. YouTube just doesn't care. So this is the like, I think one of the biggest problems of our day is that it's so easy to defraud people through the internet, and the regulators and the social media websites don't have the time, attention, or frankly cares. They don't even care about all of the fraud that goes on, and so it just continues to go through. Okay, yeah, this is the one that I was most interested in. Open image in new tab. Okay. His net P&L, look at that. His net P&L was negative $935,000. And like, there's the graph of it and everything. Like, it's insane. So I don't like, you know, poking the bear. I don't want to get involved in the drama again, but you asked and there's the answer. Can you believe that? I thought you had been around when we were talking about this. Even at my worst loss, I lost less than 10K, and that was like over a 7-year span. Yeah, and he scrubbed his account. Yeah. I'm gonna have to read up on this thread again because there's been like 3 more pages of stuff. And then they posted a bunch of stuff from the court records. So, man, it's crazy, right? Yeah, how do you lose $1 million? Well, he was doing degenerate stuff, right? Like, you go further back in this thread, and people have shown these places where it's like he's trading, and he's like just taking on more and more risk, and he just gets, you know, like takes absolutely insane losses and like just really degenerate, stupid stuff. And as far as I can tell, he just never stopped doing that. He was just constantly doing that all the time, losing tens of thousands of dollars at a time. And when you're losing tens of thousands of dollars at a time, it adds up very quickly. Like, look, I don't always make money. I made money last year. think I'm still down this year. But I'm risking like $10 at a time. And so like the worst that it comes out to is like, you know, $200 loss over the year or something like that. So this guy going out and losing millions. And then that's really the crazy thing to me is that like, well, maybe he considered it the cost of business, but like, I can't believe that he sold that much in the software. It's absolutely insane. Everything that he's got is useless. If I trade with the same risk parameters I have now, it would take me a century to lose that much money. Isn't it crazy? Yeah, I have to keep that thread up to see the thing. But this is the thing that doesn't make sense to me. Like the thing that I'm like, wait, what? Like he didn't think that there would be discovery in suing and that they would get access to these records? Like, what was he thinking? Well, he probably wasn't thinking. I think that the narcissist just does whatever in that moment they think will make them look the best to other people, right? And so in his mind, the thing that, you know, if people are saying he's a fraud or whatever, then the only thing that he can do is sue other people. And he doesn't think about, well, yeah, but what about when I lose that lawsuit? Or what about other information that people might get access to through that lawsuit? Those are things that they don't think about. They don't think ahead. Guru space is no difference than anything else, though. The louder they are, the faker they are. Yeah, well, here's kind of the conundrum. Is like, okay, so if you are legit and you really want to help people, then you kind of have to be loud too, don't you? But what I've discovered is that doesn't matter, because you are playing with people that are literally cheating. And so, it doesn't matter how good you are or how good of a results you can show, or, for me, because I don't necessarily show amazing results, but I can prove to you, like, there's empirical evidence backing the things that we have, right? But that is just not competitive against somebody that will say anything and everything to top everybody else, right? So the people always at the top, it seems like in this space that the people at the top almost always end up being complete frauds. Maybe someday that will change. Oh, same with ICT. Yeah, well, ICT fell awfully quickly, didn't he? Yeah, exactly. Market conditions change. Trading strategies have to tweak. It stands to reason an actual successful trader will eventually run into a pit and have to tweak strategy. Exactly. Like, show me like 10 years profitability day trading in a row. I don't think it's possible. I straight up. So like, could you get 5 years in a row? I think with a little bit of luck, it may be possible that there are people out there. You would probably have to have a pretty large account to start with. You would probably have to have a lot of capital to work with to start with. But 5 years of consistency day trading would be incredibly impressive. 10 years, I think it's impossible. You're cheating. You would have at least one losing year in a 10. Like, how could you lead yourself to believe that even the institutional professionals out there have one single magic bullet that never changes and that's how they make money? Well, then that's the thing, is that most people's understanding of the market is completely different from ours, right? We understand that the majority of what happens on a short-term basis is just random. But they don't think that. They think the average person is hardwired by biology to look for patterns. And they look at this and they say, there's probably a pattern to this. If I could figure out this pattern, then I would be able to know where it's going to go all of the time. I just don't know the secret yet, right? That's what most people, they look at the market, that's what they're thinking is, there's got to be a secret pattern. I just haven't figured it out yet. Or they just haven't taught me. And then somebody comes along and they say, here's the pattern. And they go, oh, it's brilliant. Okay. And then you have to add taking excessive risk on there so that people don't figure it out immediately. Again, this is why I harp on this one point so often, is that when you take excessive risk, you're likely to make money in the short term, but over a long period of time, you will still lose. And so what it does is it convinces retail traders that there's an edge to a strategy when there's not. And gurus exploit this. To gain reputation. Right? It's just back to, like, with GameStop, right? They think that there must be some sort of pattern or something. And then when they see like all of the halts and everything, they're like, that must be Wall Street manipulating it. Because the other thing that retail traders believe is that I'm too small to matter. They don't understand like, when you really look at the square root law, what it says is that 1% of the volume can be responsible for 10% of the volatility, right? Maybe after we do this, we can go and do some calculations on GameStop and show just how few contracts it would actually take to get a 5% move and cause the stock to halt, right? Yeah, exactly as you've shown in your smart money concepts video. Yeah. Unfortunately, it was really, I think, Imam trading that really ended the smart money concepts thing. So good for him. Except for that, he believes in price action and is basically doing the same crap. So, like, I think he's genuine. I don't think he's trying to mislead people or anything, but he's teaching the same, you know, nonsense essentially. Yeah. Anyways, so what was we were? I want to go back here real quick because we really went off with that, didn't we? Well, we were talking about the roaring kitty thing. I don't know if there's anything else to say about that. Let's program this. Okay. So we need to have up here private priority queue. Private priority and then it is going to be a time span. Oh, that's the priority. The element is going to be a double, right? And we're going to call this priority queue window underscore window. Being a guru seems harder than being a trader. I'm reading stuff on Twitter about it. I know it's a lot of work. Like being a quote unquote influencer is a lot of work because you're competing for everybody's attention. You know, I don't know. I don't know if I really went all out on that ever, right? I could really just go all out saying whatever it was, doing whatever it was to get people's attention and grow. And I never, you know, I would work hard, I would grind, but you know, there were certain things that I wasn't willing to do and wasn't willing to say and didn't want to spend the time with, right? And now I stopped caring, right? I was like, no, I'm happy with the way that it is. And if something happens, that's cool, but I'm not going to waste all this time on it, you know? It's the same with like making videos. Like, well, ideally I would make a video every week, but with the way that YouTube works right now and it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. You know, you notice all these people on, like famous YouTubers, quitting and whatnot. Because it's not worth it anymore. Okay. So when this happens, we have to say, so I know that a priority queue is the right way to do it, but then what is the strategy of taking them out? Okay, so adding them is going to be underscore window NQ. And then the element will be E dot price, I think. You know what? Maybe I should just do it in the NinjaTrader window because it's doesn't give me the all of the IntelliSense. Okay, so the price is gonna be what we add in there, and the well, here, hold on. NinjaTrader 8 market data event arcs. Ask bid instrument time. A date time structure representing the time. E dot time. So this is not a time span. It's actually date time. My prices in ZB are off. Maybe your prices in your ZB are off. Are you on U? Are you on U contract? Says that it's 117.01. You're going to the dentist? Okay. See you in a bit. Maybe priority queue is not the right way to do it, but I'm gonna keep looking. What does this guy want? I have a list. I want to be able to store 20 values. Oh, yeah, no. I think that I would just want to do a peak. So I would say like window dot peak. This would be, oh wait, what does it give me? Turns a T element? Oh, it will return to me. Oh, I have to see the priority too of it though. Try peak. Oh yeah, try peak is what I want. So we can say double price and date, time, priority, or let's just call it time. And then here we do window try peak out, price comma time, and then if time is less than time 0 minus dot, let's see here, time, let's just do it this way, it's right there. Time dot, come on. What does it not like? That's kind of weird. Oh, I know why. Okay. There we go. And then up here we need to use, we need to add rather using system dot collections dot generic. No? Is it called something else in .NET 3.5 perhaps? Yep, Dow Jones opens at right now. That's why I hear that beep sound. This might not help. Am I misspelling it? Priority. Cute. Applies to .NET version 6. Is there not a priority queue in version 3 or 4? So if I were using, well, I don't know if the latest version of NinjaTrader even gets you to .NET 6. Let's see here. References. Yeah, we are done now. Framework 4. Okay, so I think I can go, I can change this to a private. So for that, I can't do a list like that. So I think I'm gonna have to create a little structure. Come on. Yeah, it requires one type. But then I can replace that, all of this code with this. I can just say underscore window dot remove all where x dot time is less than or equal to time 0 minus dot is it add, or can you do remove, subtract? I just do dot add minutes negative x, or negative period. Like that. No, I think he is being serious because he's in Europe and he doesn't know that for us that's like everybody knows that. Okay, so we're gonna create a struct here. Public class. Public date time get set. Public double price get set. Public order struct double comma date time double price yada yada yada. Time equals time, price equals price. Okay, so then down in here we say window dot this is a list of my little order struct. Or at each order struct O in window sum equals sum plus O dot price. Yes. And then value of 0 is equal to sum divided by window dot size. Count. Okay. Yes, that's what I was saying. Window dot. Is it add? It's not insert. Yeah, okay, it's add. Add new order struct E dot price, comma E dot time. Okay. So anytime that I use new, I'm a little concerned. But okay, closing. Okay. So now, I guess I want one of these. Let me go grab it real quick. Something like this. So this one will be mean up, down, 1, 2, mean of 0. Okay. And then up of 0 equals mean of 0 times 1.05. Actually, we should say percent. Not there. Up here. Public int percent. Get set. Ninja script property. Okay, so up is like 1.05, and this will be down will be times 1 minus %. Da, 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 da. Build. Okay, I'm not referencing any any like past bars or anything like that. So I think this should work. What should we put it on? Well, let's just start with the S&P 500 on a minute chart. On a 1 minute chart. Ooh, don't be so big though, bro. I need to be so big. And then we say, oh, it's gonna be down here, huh? Halt bands. Percent should be 5. Let's set a default in there. Percent equals 5. Oh no, where'd he go? Okay. Aha. Okay, so some problems. Okay, so first thing I see is that the value I'm getting is wrong, and it is not doing past ones. Oh, because it would have to have tick replay on to do past ones. But even then, how would that get, why is the mean, and also why are they not lines? That does not make sense. So is overlay is true on this. Hit tick replay. Okay. Seems reasonable enough. So, like, if the per current price is, or the current mean is 5,3 0.42 times 1.05 would put us at 5,610. Okay, it looks correct. So we'd have to put it on GameStop. But it would work. It would work. Minimize that. One other thing, though. Change the name. Halt bands. I do think that I can look at like stop. Yeah, if I pull up a 1 minute, it doesn't do anything. But if I pull up a daily chart, then I'll see stuff. Cool. But if I was using DX feed, then I would be able to pull it up. So it's there, it's available. If things get spicy or this doesn't die down or something like that, then we can pull that indicator out and show people exactly where the bands are going to be. Okay. That's not right. I might have my window wrong. Those bands are correct, but this this mean is not. I think there's something wrong with the mean, or at least there's something wrong with the mean on looks like this is a job for the debugger. So why does it just keep going down? That don't make any sense. It's probably going to be a really simple and embarrassing bug. Debug, attached process. Okay, so we should get a breakpoint here in 5 seconds, 10 seconds rather. It did not break. Maybe it just wasn't up and running by the time that had happened. So we'll wait another 30 seconds. Nothing popped in the output window. Oh, you know what? You know what's probably wrong. No, it is in debug mode. File. Oh, do I have two Visual Studios open? Okay, hold on. Let's just don't save. Don't save. I haven't said anything about the treasuries yet, but they've just stayed in this range, haven't they? There's not really a whole lot to say about them. Actually, all of the markets look relatively quiet. So I think that we're using our time well. Oh. I know what's wrong already. I know what's wrong already. I'm missing in here. You have to say if it's a type of last. Otherwise, you're going to get elements in there that are 0. That's probably what it was. Okay. So now we got to wait for a new bar and we'll see. Well, it still didn't hit my break point. Oh, this is because I stopped debugging. Okay. Mm-hmm. 15 seconds. Okay. That looks a little bit better, doesn't it? So I think it can close this now. let's just we don't need that. Let's get rid of some of these windows we don't need. Okay, wow, GameStop dipping back towards Friday's prices on the open, but nothing too crazy beyond that. I think at some point it will break, and then we'll see where it goes. Because, like, if it gets quiet, right? I don't know if there were any halts in there, but I will just minimize that one for now. Make over here. Okay, so let's do a couple of things. Now that we're here, now that you're all zoned out because we were programming. Are you still coding NinjaTrader? Yes, sir. Somebody asks on YouTube. Well, let's see here. What are the top stories on Zero Hedge? Goldman agrees with Trump that Biden's executive order to stop the invasion is BS. Key events this week. Southwest shares jump after report of Elliott investment stake. Oh, okay. Colorado weed industry in free fall as sales plunge by 700 million. Okay. But not a whole lot there. So it's pretty light on the news this morning as well. Can they write this and not see market manipulation pump and dump? Well, I'm going to write a post even though I don't think anybody cares here. Okay. Market manipulation is when you induce others to trade based on information you know to be false. So posting a picture or showing your position what probably doesn't qualify as manipulation. However, getting on a stream and saying I still like the stock while privately telling your buddies this is a train wreck and I can't get out would qualify as manipulation. But ape seem to play loose. Definition. Market manipulation. Manipulation is moving the stock, moving the price when I don't want you to. But that's just trading. All orders have impact. And it doesn't take much. Stock markets. Honestly, I spent most of my weekend just reading these subs. I did my my workout, my max out workout on Saturday, and oh, it burned me so hard. Like I thought, oh, there's no big deal. This shouldn't be any worse than, because it was about the same weights that I did on Monday. But no, I was so done, and I took probably like 3 or 4 naps on Sunday, and then still went to sleep at a decent time. So, but I spent a lot of time reading in between there. $2K MBOs showing up? Where? At 03? Dynamic economics of the world's 6,000 super yachts. There's 6,000 of them, eh? Trump to be interviewed by a probation officer virtually on Monday. I love it. Saying lab-grown diamonds are fake is like saying ice cubes are fake and only real ice is made outside. Sure, but ice is not valuable. So, there probably was a time. I guess there probably was a time where ice was considered somewhat valuable, huh? Actually, this is actually like a really great comparison. I want to see this thread. No. Nobody seems to think about the fact that the whole diamond industry is artificially inflated by those who profit on people's belief that diamonds are somehow rare. They're not. There's an artificial scarcity built in the system to keep prices up, basically a scam system. You know what bothers me about like the diamond and jewelry market and everything is that if you go and you buy a diamond ring and you spend like, let's say that you spend $10,000. They have an even number, okay? If you turn around and try and resell that ring, you are not going to get $10,000 back out of it. Like, not even close. Like, I'm not sure that you would get even 50%. I've looked at these things in Utah. I don't think you even get 50%. And the whole point of the ring was that it was supposed to be like, you know, if something happened to them, if something happened to you, your spouse could go and sell the ring and that would be some money. You know, it was like an insurance of sorts, right? But it doesn't hold its value. So like, it's kind of pointless. If the diamonds don't hold their value. I mean, they do, diamonds relatively, prices are relatively stable. It's just that you're buying them at such a huge markup. Yeah, there you go. This is what I was looking for. A lot of people don't know that there was, in fact, a huge backlash against artificial ice when refrigeration was invented. Many companies had supplied ice collected from lakes for centuries and did marketing campaigns about natural ice being more nutritious. Oh my gosh, could you believe? I don't think that natural ice would be more nutritious. But I bet you that a lot of people would go for it. Would fall for it. I feel like that MBO at 03 may be boosting us up, but it's only a tick, so I don't want to make a huge deal out of it. A CVD machine, which can produce about 300 rough carats, which is roughly around 1,000 polished carats per year, is only a 6 kilowatt machine. What it effectively means is that if you have a roof solar panel system enough to power an average US home, that amount of dollar power can easily power 2 or 3 of these machines. I.e., to produce 2,000 polished carats of lab diamonds, you only need an average American home-sized roof. Well, I want to go and get, like, gigantic lab-grown diamonds now. I'm tempted to answer that question convexity, but somebody else will do it. So this post right here, they're saying that people are shilling and trying to prevent certain things from being said and so on and so forth. And I'm like, where's the evidence for that? So people were saying that for the new Disney show, The Acolyte, that there was review bombing going on and so forth. And I think that there is, but people have presented evidence for that. They basically showed that like 90% of the audience votes on the show had only ever voted for that one show, and ergo probably weren't legitimate accounts. Can you show that here on Reddit, that all of the accounts that you're talking about are like yay old and only top posting about this thing, or like, can you prove? I remember there's this one time where the liberals were all uppity about that the conservatives were making fake accounts or something like that, and I kept having people on r/politics accuse me of being a bot. Oh, it was funny. I was like, okay, like, look at my account, a well-known person. There's like one of the worst people on Reddit to have accused of being a robot. Okay, whatever. Wow, $8,000 a month for swing trading. Yeah, coins. Something I'm noticing lately is every time I see something like somebody proposing a way of trading or something that actually perks my interest a little bit, they're doing crypto, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm not interested. So this new game called Diabolical Rogue, and it's actually good. I actually do enjoy it. There's things that annoy me about it, but I think that if they kind of get out the things that the community really hates, I think it'd be a good game. See what the comments are. But the community is slowly finding out about it, I guess. I'm considering moving my chair, my seat. You know what I'm gonna do? GME Meltdown is amazing. Thanks for running. Some of the stuff there really is like, oh my gosh. Restaurants are having their biggest year ever? Really? But I thought that restaurants were all dying. This is confusing. The owners of GameStop now have an exit strategy every time the pumps have them. Well, I really think that it is turning into like, as soon as it pumps, we have to sell shares to take advantage of it. Because the speed with which it came last week was, it takes a few days to do that, right? So they must have been like starting it like from the Monday. And, I think part of the concern was, oh, well, if you dilute shareholders now, the apes will turn on you. But they're not. They're still like 100% behind Ryan Cohen, which is just like, it is like particularly crazy to me. I think that's better. I might even be able to go in even one step further with the seat belt. Annual restaurant sales. But is that in numbers or percentages? I don't know if that's actually true. Yeah, guess what? 864 billion in 2019 is equivalent to, in today's dollars, exactly what the 2024 projection is in this article. I'm not sure if I would consider that the biggest year ever for restaurants, especially considering that wages, insurance, and rents have gone up like crazy since 2019. Yep. And all the author is doing is repeating information provided by the National Restaurant Association. Okay. I don't think that GameStop has dividends, does it? I'd be really surprised if it did. I mean, they ripped off and just hoping. Well, who knows what Ryan Cohen is thinking? Like, here's the thing. He was looking for a CEO, and he couldn't get anybody to do it. Because everybody's, like, terrified that they get in, it's a complete shit show, and then when they fail, all of these people that are going to lose money on it will harass them for the rest of their lives. So nobody wants to do it. So, like, I can't imagine what Ryan Cohen is thinking. I mean, he's made mondo money off of this either way now at this point. Does he really care? I don't know. But, like, that's one of the things with all of this is that people keep coming down to this, like, what does X person think or what does X person think? And that kind of would determine what I would want to do in this situation. And yet, like, we can't read their minds. So we can't really, it's almost pointless to try and, I mean, it's fun. Like, it's fun for me to think about, okay, well, they did the share offering. Cohen must have known when the live stream thing was set up. He would have looked at it and gone, oh, that's the day that we're going to be offering shares. Huh. You know, and probably check. But, like, I don't know what he was thinking when that happened. You know, this is... Trying to understand, quote unquote, apes, so that I can show them where they're wrong about things so that they can get a correct understanding of the market. But it kind of seems hopeless. It kind of seems like the more that I understand them, the more convinced I am that, like, they will just never let go until the company is bankrupt. It's crazy to think GameStop has any value at all, really, since they are repeatedly closing store after store quickly because the business is failing. Stuff isn't selling. I say he doesn't care. Like, some people don't understand that they had crazy contracts and warehouses full of those stupid K-pop things, millions of them, and they're not selling anymore. I mean, why would I buy some puts on them? Oh, yeah, totally. Well, you know, I haven't looked today, but, you know, I kind of think that the puts here might be reasonable. Let's go and see, shall we? I think that you probably could make money on the puts, but I don't know if it would be like a crazy. I don't know if it would really be able to justify itself. We want ones on the 21st. Okay, so 20s are still $1. I kind of feel like that's not worth it. Like, it basically has to fall $1 below that for you to make money. I don't know. Yeah, the Funko Pops. Yeah, no, I remember that. When I've been, so where is it? I can't remember where it was. I think there's a restaurant that we were eating at, and there was a GameStop next door to it. So, you know, while Mom was finishing up, Asher wanted to go in there, so we go in there and walk around that store. And I didn't find any of the stuff that they had interesting. There was hardly anybody in the store. And I'm like, you know, prime target audience for this sort of thing too, right? Actually, I would rather go and buy that. So they have that kind of stuff at Best Buy, and they have a way better selection at Best Buy than they do at GameStop. Every time I go to GameStop, that kid wants, I'll get him a little something. Like last time it was little Hot Wheel cars that were actually Mario Kart characters. Because Mario Kart is probably his favorite game. It's kind of funny. You can put Mario Kart. There's like a built-in auto steering in Mario Kart. So you can give it to him and it will basically play the game for him. But it's enough that he can still feel like he's in control, you know? But he still can kind of tell, he can tell that he shouldn't be able to do that good and that the game is racing for him. But then if you turn that stuff off, then he can't play the game at all, and he's not interested in that either. But then the funniest thing is that he will like constantly go into like menu places that don't do anything and don't go anywhere, right? He's more interested in navigating the menu. I should learn to make an Android I should learn to do Android development and make an application that is just like endless menus, right? Like an endless maze. It could be like, I could use some sort of generation sort of a thing that will, you know, it will randomly generate the menus, but like everybody will get the same menu. And because of the way that it will work out, there will be like cool Easter eggs and interesting things in the menus and stuff like that. And so people will like navigate through the menu, and then the kid could just endlessly navigate menus until he gets bored. I think that my kids would enjoy an application like that. The best part of GameStop is the memes. I've seen some funny stuff, but like at this point, the funny memes are on the anti-GameStop side, not the pro-GameStop side. You gotta wonder when you're looking at this thing right here, right? Like, it has really died down. It is not having the same amount of volatility. So first thing is I don't think as many people are holding as we thought. Like, there's a group of people that have been holding this whole time. They're not doing anything, and the rest of it has just been traders. So if the traders are like tired of this now, you just have the holders, and it's just gonna die down and sell probably. You know, having funds and no, dude, the bonds are like just the most sideways I've ever seen. Actually, They are trading like a 6-tick range or something, so you probably could have made money off of it. But every time I try and play that game, I get screwed, so I'm not gonna mess with it. But it's been bad. I would have anticipated that it would be, because we have CPI and FOMC on Wednesday. I'm gonna bet you also, by the way, that tomorrow's 10-year bond auction isn't gonna be very good. Like, who would want to buy at auction day before CPI and FOMC, right? It's going to be a dismal 10-year auction tomorrow. So that probably will weigh on treasuries then. I would put my money on that there's not even half the amount of people or money as the last time. Oh, yeah, totally. But this is the thing. I think that the super stonk people got together and were like, how many shares do you have? And the percentage of the float that they owned was like insane. Except for that they all just got diluted. So like if they were 30% before, they're like 10% now, right? It's just. But you're right. There's probably not nearly as many people. But you would never know it from the volatility. Because why? Because doesn't take very much to move the market. Markets are extreme. They're inelastic. Markets are inelastic. This is the thing that people don't understand. If you understand that the market is inelastic, then like half of the things that apes believe that are getting them so triggered and so hyper focused on this thing right now are immediately proven. Like, you immediately understand that those are false. Like this whole thing that like, how are they creating the stops all the time and Wall Street is halting it? Well, it's an algorithm. It's literally average mean price over the last 10 minutes and then price bands 5% up or down from that. And that's it. So there's nobody there with a button to say we're going to halt it. It's just when it hits that price, it will get halted. And the retail traders will say, well, it has to be, or the Wall Street is pushing it into those places to cause the stop because we can't move it. But then if you understand that the market is inelastic, then you realize, yeah, you can, and you can move it really easily. Oh, that was the other thing that we were going to do that we didn't. Let's do that. We're going to come in here to GameStop, and we're going to add the volume, and we're going to add ATR, average true range, onto this as well. Okay, so they are pushing an average true range. Well, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that the average true range is 6. Should we bring a spreadsheet up? Excel. Blank workbook. Okay, so ATR of 6. And the volume that they're pushing here is, well, 200, let's say 200 million a day. Volume 200. And what should we use for our Y? Let's just say that it's 1. Okay. So the formula is YO times the square root of Q over V. Okay. So the question is, what Q do we need to make it move 5%? So if it's at 27 right now, price 27. So target, Actually, that's not what I want. 27 times 0.05. So 1.35. Target is 1.35. So, it's going to be 1.35 is equal to 1 times 6 times the square root of Q divided by 200, it's million, right? Of course it is. 200 million, yep. 200 million, okay. So first we can take this 6 over here, right? So 1.35 divided by 6 rather. It's 0.225. So we get 0.225 equals square root of Q divided by 200 million. Okay. Am I doing it right so far? And divide each side by 6, yeah. Okay, so then if this is the square root, then we have to square both sides. So 0.225 times 0.225 is 0.050625 equals Q divided by 200 million. Right? And then we just have to times each side by 200 million. So this times 200,000 million equals 10 million? Is that right? Let me redo my math over here on this. Oh. Squared. So then it's P over YO squared divided by V equals Q. Which is basically what we did, right? So then that ends up being 1.35 divided by 6 squared divided by 200 million. No. This is not over V, it's times V. Right, because you gotta do V over 1, the V's cancel out. But the factor can't be 0.05. It's gotta be way less than that. Maybe that is too large of a movement. In other words, the amount required to make it to go to 5% is beyond the amount at which the market makers can like hold things and get screwed. So it would be considerably less than 10 million, perhaps. I'm a little surprised by the... Did I do something wrong with the math? I'm a little surprised by that result. Also, is that an ATR of 6 really reasonable? What about if I add range? True range. Oh, I can just look at how much it was. Plus 14, plus 18. In this more crazy market, 5. Plus 18. Let's just go with 10. So 1.35 divided by, and let's give it like a really high Y factor, like 2. So if we do 1.35 divided by 20, square that. Though I'm doing something wrong in my math. What am I doing wrong in my math here? Because it's basically saying, where'd my calculator go? 0.05 times 1.35 times 6. Oh, no, wait. .05 times 6. This is... No, my math is wrong somewhere, guys. My math is very, very wrong somewhere. .050625 times 200 million equals 10,000. .050625 times 6 is supposed to be 1.35, not 0.3, right? So I'm screwing up somewhere. Oh, I think I might know where I'm screwing up. I think I'm making dumb mistakes. P over Y O equals square root of Q over V. So if I have to times this by the square root of Q over V. There's a property about square roots. That's this to the 1/2. There's like square root identity rules. No, I am doing that right. Do I have to do this first? Do I have to do like square root of Q over the square root of V? And then it ends up being times the square root of V? Right? Like, so if P is 1.35 divided by 6.225, and then 200 million square root is this crazy number right here. So then it's that times 0.225. And then it's that squared. Still comes out to the same answer, 10 million. Hoping to see some big loss porn videos over all these recent events. Already saw one trader posting like 250k hit. Oh my gosh, yeah. I have seen some pretty big trades. I am doing something seriously wrong with the math here, folks, aren't I? Now, see, I'm going the wrong way here at this point. I'm pretty sure you can just square both sides. 0.225 squared is... Oh, wait. What? Oh, wrong. 0.225 is... So then why does this not work? Say 10, 125,000 divided by 200 million is 0.50625. And then you're taking, and that's 0.225. That is correct. 10 million shares to move at 5%? So for this, higher than that now. That's still only, so it only takes, I mean, that still fits in with our laws, I guess, right? So it's basically saying, what is it again? 10, 125 divided by 200. Yeah. So it's saying that like 5% of the volume. No, that's wrong. What if I went backwards? What if I said 0.01? 0.1 times 6.6. 1.35. Oh, well, to get to the halt would be, well, have to move. It would have to be 1.35. So that might be about right. But it would have to be 5, almost 4 or 5%. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Options Greeks play exposures. Yeah, so you would only have to trade. Well, see, so I think there's a couple of problems here, right? One is that we are in a situation where I don't think that the square root law would necessarily factor in, but I should still be able to go and do through the laws and have things make sense. It's just that the amounts that we're talking here aren't quite right. if this was like 12, so if we change things around and we said 1.35 divided by 12, and then you square that, and then you times that by 200 million. Okay, that's maybe a little bit realistic, but that's still a lot of volume. You know, times 27, that's still $68 million. But again, the problem is, so the halts have to be that the liquidity is just way less than that. So I think that to really give ourselves accurate estimates in here, in this case, because the market is unhinged, I thought that the numbers would still kind of make sense, but they really don't. So really, we would have to go in and look at the liquidity. You know, like we could go and count and say, okay, in $1.35, how much liquidity is that being offered? Or maybe like how much liquidity tends to trade for price, and we can sort it out that way. But it also wouldn't surprise me to see just massive amounts trading all the time in there, you know? Kind of does make me want to have the DOM up on it. I have to think about it. It might be something I'm doing wrong and all of that. But I think I did check myself a bunch of times. $200 million on 10, 5%. Unless I'm getting something backwards. Right, in which case it's supposed to be 0.225 square root. No, that's worse. No, I didn't say that. I was giving an example of what he would need to be doing to actually be guilty of market manipulation. Right? So, to be guilty of market manipulation, if he was privately telling his friends that I don't like this company anymore, this whole thing is a shit show, but like I have this huge position and $200 million that I want to get out and I can't get out right now. Right? If he was telling his friends that, meanwhile on the stream he said, I own it because I like the stock, that's manipulation. That's you're telling people things to induce them to trade that are not in line with what you actually believe. That would be market manipulation. We don't have any evidence of him doing that. I was just giving the example of that's what would be market manipulation. What's the obsession with GameStop? Because the market's obsessed with it. And I'm obsessed with the misinformation that I see, or correcting the misinformation that I see about it. And why am I obsessed with that? Because I'm ADHD and I have an heightened sense of justice. People are saying wrong things on the internet and it is not okay. We have to do something. That's me. But I'm not going to do anything though. That's the whole thing. We made the indicator. If we choose to, we could buy the level 2 for $70 and show people. But I don't want to spend money. I see. I'm like, I care enough about it to talk about it, but I don't care enough to invest $70 into it, because I don't think that we'll get $70 back out of it. That's the way that I think. I was like, okay, so we spend $70 on it. Like, how many viewers would we get additional on the stream from that? Yada 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 yada. What's the indicator? I'll put it in chat. Downloads. Before we get going here. It's an indicator. It's a NinjaScript indicator. Let's go find it. Come on. In the speculator Seth free. And it is called Halt levels. Halt bands. And it will basically show you the price at which you're going to see a halt. Or roughly. So the thing is that if you put it on a so if you put it on a 1 minute chart, what you're going to see is, you know, it's not going to draw the band until it's closed, and so you won't actually see that it crossed the line until the bar is closed, right? So you would have to put it on like a 1 second, but then if you put it on a 1 second, you have to increase the period and all of that, and then it's running every second, and that's a lot of processor. So you have to consider that. Okay, but it will show you bands that will show you how far the stock can move before it would be halted. And you will see that every time it crosses that band, it gets halted. And that it's not some great conspiracy. So I put it in Discord, downloads channel, if you want to try it. If you have NinjaTrader with intraday stock data, then you could try doing it. You would have to have intraday data that shows orders, because it needs to iterate through all of the orders to determine the average price, because it's not a VWAP. It's, yeah. But anyways, so you can try it. So let's change the title to I wrote an indicator to show halt levels. I wrote a NinjaTrader indicator to show halt levels. Day trading futures order flow 10th June 2024. Okay. Tomorrow, well, I don't know. I kind of think I want to do this one off stream because kind of the don't trade during news thing. So once we got that going, then I could do a lot more interesting back testing. So, see you guys tomorrow. Stay excellent, team.